Welcome back to the Dero Bets channel. It is Saturday of MLS week 26 of the 2025 MLS season. After 6 games last night, we have got 9 games tonight on Saturday. I have got 5 plays for you. Let's recap last night and get into Saturday's slate. So last night we went 1-1 overall. New England scored first against Montreal, who had lost 14 out of 16 games when they had gotten scored on this year. Montreal somehow comes back to win that game. Very frustrating, whatever. And then we do cash San Diego on the under 1.5 team total. I told you it was going to be sweaty. The referee blew the whistle on 90 minutes, basically as the ball was rolling into the net for San Diego's second goal. San Diego missed a penalty. But I will say, I think the read was spot on. San Diego had one chance in the match of over .05 XG created from open play. They had Lozano's goal, and then they had the PK. That was literally the only chances they created in the entire match. So I think the read was very good on that one. And then Houston, LA got rained out, which I was really angry about because that was my favorite play of the night. But anyways, as I mentioned, we have 9 games tonight. I have got 5 plays on them, so let's get right into it. Play number 1, we are going to Mercedes-Benz Stadium where Atlanta United is hosting the Seattle Sounders at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, and we are taking the Atlanta United team total over 1.5, coming in at plus 110. Now, this one is all about the number coming in at plus money, and I would never back Atlanta to get any results right now. They're a mess, but what they have been doing is been scoring goals. They do have 4 straight home games where they've gone over this number. And then let's look at Seattle. This is all about Stephen Fry still being out for the Sounders. That means Andrew Thomas in goal. Now, this season, he's played 5 games. He's allowed multiple goals in all 5 of those games. No Joao Paulo as well in midfield, which hurts them. And he's allowed multiple goals in 5 out of his 7 road games in his career. It's always a tough thing when a team, whether they're going East Coast to West Coast or vice versa, when they have to travel 3 time zones across, you always look out for that as a potential spot to back the home team. So I really liked this angle where we're not backing Atlanta to get a result, but we're backing them to find the back of the net a couple times at plus money. So play number 1 is going to be Atlanta United team total over 1.5 plus 110. Play number 2, we are going to Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, where Charlotte FC is hosting Toronto FC. We are going under 3 goals, coming in at minus 110. So I was looking at this line and I would have just set this maybe 25 to 30 cents higher. I think this should be minus 140, minus 145. And this is all about Toronto FC because when you look at TFC games, in their last 21 games, they've gone over this number twice in their last 21 games, basically the entire season. One was that bizarre 6-1 win they had at Montreal, and then they had a 3-1 loss at NYCFC in the middle of the season. But other than that, they haven't gone over this number. And anytime I'm playing that over or under 3, what do I say? Is it more likely to have 4 goals or 2 goals? And I think this game is much more likely to have 2 goals. I think a shutout Charlotte FC win, I think that's an angle I kind of like as well. Toronto FC has only scored more than 1 goal once in their last 9 games. They can't score any goals. Ola Brynhildsen still out. But defensively, they've been pretty good. They're averaging just over 1 expected goal allowed in the last month. They gave up 1 goal to Nashville. They shut out San Diego. They shut out Portland. Pretty good offensive teams. And then we look at Charlotte. They've scored multiple goals in their last 5 games, which is why this number is where it is. But I don't think Toronto FC is going to score. And I think the regression has got to come to the Charlotte offense at some point. Without Adjumong, they're going to replace him, but they haven't done it yet. So I really like the under 3 here, coming in at minus 110. So that will be play number 2. Play number 3. We're going to DC. You knew we were going to do it. Audi Field, DC United hosting Austin FC at 6:30 p.m. Central Time kickoff. We're going under 2.5 goals, coming in at minus 120. So this is a play we have just cashed over and over on this year, and we're going to play it again because Austin FC pretty much healthy right now besides Brandon Vasquez, obviously out for the season. DC United missing Aaron Herrera, but that might hurt them more offensively than defensively as an important outside back for them. But DC United has scored 1 goal, more than 1 goal, once in their last 13 games. Let that sink in for a second. Basically, a third of the season that they haven't scored more than 1 goal. So you like Austin FC to keep them to at least 1 goal or less. I don't think Christian Benteke is healthy, despite the fact that he's not on the injury report. He's playing. He's not really scoring goals right now. I don't see DC United really scoring in this one. Maybe they get a goal, but if they score once, I don't like Austin FC to get multiple goals in this one. Austin FC has been under this number in 8 out of their last 10 games. They held a really healthy, firing on all cylinders offensively LA Galaxy team to 1 goal last week. I think they're going to be pretty defensive again on Saturday night. So again, we've cashed this multiple times. Play number 3 is going to be under 2.5 goals in the DC United Austin FC game, coming in at -110. Play number 4, my favorite play of the week, and they burned us on that 2-unit play a couple weeks ago, but we're going to go back to the well. Energizer Park, St. Louis City hosting Minnesota United, 7:30 p.m. Central Time kickoff, and we're taking Minnesota United team total over 1.5, coming in at +110. Now, look, this did burn us a couple weeks ago, but this is St. Louis City. This is not LAFC. And this is all about the number for me, getting plus money for Minnesota United to score a couple of goals. And the thing about this is, we've seen this game twice in the last about 6 weeks. Minnesota United scored 3 goals against them in US Open Cup. They scored 3 goals against them in MLS. And now we're getting plus money for them to get a couple of goals. LAFC did shut them out in that masterclass. But besides that, they've scored multiple goals in their previous 6 games, and they are just a perfect matchup against a St. Louis team that is slow and struggles to defend the counterattack. That's what Minnesota United does all day. And I watched St. Louis City in person last weekend against FC Dallas. They look slow. They look tired. They look like they've given up a little bit. And I love Minnesota United to score a couple of goals on them. They've lost 4 out of their last 5 games. They don't have a shutout in 14 games, almost half the season since they got a shutout. So you love Minnesota United to find the back of the net. I think they're going to score some goals on them. I'm seeing Yeboah and Tani Loesei both around +160 to score. I kind of like a half unit on both of those, and if one of them scores, you're in the green. Both of them could score. Wait until lineups maybe come out to see that one. But yeah, play number 4 is going to be Minnesota United to score over 1.5 goals, coming in at +110. Our 5th and final play of the week, we are going to BC Place, where Vancouver Whitecaps are hosting Sporting Kansas City, 9:30 p.m. Central Time kickoff. We are taking both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, coming in at -110. So Vancouver is returning home for the first time in a month, hosting Sporting Kansas City. And before I kind of looked at the numbers, I like to do my capping before I look at the numbers to not have kind of a biased impact on things. And I love goals in this matchup. But the over 3 goals in this one is -200, but we're getting both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at -110, so almost a full $1 of value. I love the way that this play shakes out. Let's look at Vancouver first. They are down 2 of their top 3 center backs. Sam Adekubi out long term, and then Ranko Veselinovic. He tore his ACL last week against San Diego. We wish him a speedy recovery, of course, but that's their captain. Very important player for them. And I think it's going to be tough for them to keep Sporting Kansas City off of the scoreboard. Sporting hasn't been shut out in 9 games. So for Vancouver to do it without their top 2 center backs, I'm not sure about that one. They have scored multiple goals in their last 6 games, multiple goals in 3 out of their last 5 road games. And I love a sprinkle on Sporting Kansas City over 1.5 team total, +255. When they've done it in 4 out of their last 6 games. Love that. So, I'm not going to come here and say Sporting has this amazing offense, but they really probably only need 1 goal to cash this for us, because Vancouver has scored multiple goals in 8 out of their 10 home games this year. You always feel confident with them scoring at home. So I really like goals in this one. If you want to ladder the goals, I feel like this game is either going to be 1-0 or 3-3. So maybe an over 4.5 or something like that. Maybe both teams to score in the first half could be a really interesting number. But the play we're going to make, our 5th and final play, is going to be both teams to score over 2.5 goals, coming in at -110. So that will wrap us up for our MLS Best Bets this week, but stay tuned. Leagues Cup is coming. 6 games on Tuesday, 5 games on Wednesday, 6 games on Thursday. I am going to dig into each slate. You are going to be getting a lot of videos out of me over the next few weeks as we attack Leagues Cup. Last year, I did really well on it. Really looking forward to that one. So let me know in the comments, what are you playing tonight? Give me the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And best of luck with your plays. We will see you on Tuesday.